The Declaration of Independence. Signed in 1776, this document declared the 13 American colonies independent of British rule. It stated that all men are created equal and have unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It listed grievances against King George III and accused him of tyranny. The text justified the colonies' right to revolt and form a new government. It was drafted by Thomas Jefferson and adopted by the Continental Congress on July 4, 1776, marking the birth of the United States of America as an independent nation. The American Revolutionary War. From 1775 to 1783, the American colonies fought to break free from British rule. It began with battles like Lexington and Concord, and ended with the Treaty of Paris. Key figures included George Washington and General Cornwallis. The war saw major battles like Bunker Hill, Saratoga, and Yorktown. The colonists had support from France, Spain, and the Netherlands. Victory at Yorktown led to Britain recognizing American independence in 1783. This war paved the way for the birth of the United States. The Constitutional Convention. In 1787, delegates met in Philadelphia to draft the U.S. Constitution. This convention aimed to replace the Articles of Confederation. Key figures included George Washington, James Madison, and Benjamin Franklin. They debated issues like representation, federalism, and the separation of powers. The Great Compromise established a bicameral legislature. The Three-Fifths Compromise addressed the counting of slaves for representation. The final document created the framework for the federal government, including the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. It was signed on September 17th and later ratified by the states, becoming the supreme law of the United States. The Louisiana Purchase. In 1803, the United States purchased the Louisiana Territory from France. This deal doubled the size of the country. President Thomas Jefferson authorized the purchase for $15 million. It included land from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. The acquisition opened vast tracts for westward expansion. It also secured control of the vital port of New Orleans. This purchase significantly boosted the nation's resources and strategic power. The War of 1812. It was a conflict between the United States and Great Britain. It arose partly over trade disputes and British impressment of American sailors. The war saw significant battles like the Battle of New Orleans and the burning of Washington, D.C. Key events included the British blockade and the American invasion of Canada. The Treaty of Ghent ended the war, restoring pre-war boundaries and resolving outstanding issues. This conflict solidified American independence and established new respect for the nation on the world stage. The Missouri Compromise. It aimed to maintain a balance between slave and free states in the United States. It admitted Missouri as a slave state and Maine as a free state, keeping the Senate evenly divided. Additionally, it prohibited slavery in the Louisiana Territory, north of the 36° 30 parallel, except for Missouri. This compromise was an attempt to ease tensions between northern and southern states over the issue of slavery and maintain the delicate political equilibrium in the country. The Trail of Tears. During this time, the Native American tribes were forcibly relocated from their ancestral lands in the southeastern United States. The relocation, primarily of Cherokee, Creek, Chickasaw, Choctaw, and Seminole nations, led to the deaths of thousands due to harsh conditions and disease. It followed the Indian Removal Act of 1830, which authorized the forced displacement. The journey to designated Indian Territory, present-day Oklahoma, became a symbol of the U.S. government's mistreatment and disregard for Native American rights. The Mexican-American War, fought from 1846 to 1848, resulted in the U.S. acquiring territories in the western part of the continent, including California and New Mexico. It began over border disputes and the annexation of Texas by the United States. Key battles included the Siege of Veracruz and the Battle of Buena Vista. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo ended the war, granting the U.S. vast territories in exchange for payment to Mexico. This war significantly expanded U.S. territory and fueled debates over slavery's extension into newly acquired lands.